The Taj Mahal was created from a love story that became larger than the empire in which it was born. In the early 1600s, Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, ruler of one of the richest and most powerful kingdoms of the time, fell deeply in love with a young Persian noblewoman named Arjumand Banu Begum. She would later become known as Mumtaz Mahal, meaning chosen one of the palace, or jewel of the palace. Unlike most royal marriages of the era, theirs was not only political, it was built on real affection, trust, and companionship. She traveled with him on military campaigns, advised him on state matters, and stayed by his side through every hardship. Historical accounts describe her as intelligent, kind, and beloved not only by the emperor, but by everyone who saw the respect he gave her. She bore 14 children for him, but it was during the birth of the 14th, in 1631, that she died at the age of 38. Her death shattered Shah Jahan emotionally. Chroniclers wrote that he wept for days, refused food, shut himself in a dark room, and when he emerged, his beard had turned white and his face looked aged. In his grief, he promised to build a monument unlike anything the world had ever seen, something so perfect that it would keep her memory alive for eternity. To fulfill this promise, Shah Jahan began construction of the Taj Mahal in 1632 along the southern bank of the Yamuna River in Agra. This location was personally meaningful, as Mumtaz Mahal loved the serenity of the riverbank. The emperor envisioned not just a tomb, but an entire paradise-like complex that represented Jannat, the Islamic concept of the eternal garden. He gathered the greatest craftsmen, architects, and artists from across the Mughal Empire and abroad. Historical documents mention architects from Persia like Ustad Ahmad Lahori, calligraphers from Syria and Baghdad, marble cutters from Rajasthan, inlay specialists from Central Asia, and stone carvers from Iran and Samarkand. More than 20,000 elephants transported marble blocks and precious stones. The finest white marble was brought from the Makrana quarries in Rajasthan, which produced stone known for its unmatched purity and ability to reflect light. The emperor ordered rare gemstones from faraway lands, jade and crystal from China, turquoise from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, sapphire from Sri Lanka, and agate from Yemen. The scale of the complex was enormous. The entire Taj Mahal compound covers nearly 42 acres of land. The main mausoleum sits on a raised marble platform and is surrounded by 4 minarets, each nearly 130 feet tall, slightly leaning outward, so that in an earthquake they would fall away from the tomb rather than on top of it. The symmetrical gardens that stretch before the mausoleum follow the charbagh design, inspired by Persian paradise gardens, divided into 4 sections, symbolizing the 4 rivers of heaven. A long reflecting pool runs down the center, mirroring the Taj Mahal's image and enhancing its symmetry. On one side of the mausoleum stands a mosque made of red sandstone, facing Mecca. On the opposite side is a guest house, identical in design for balance and harmony, even though it had no religious purpose. The main dome of the Taj Mahal rises about 240 feet into the sky, shaped with perfect geometric precision. The inside of the dome contains an echo system that causes a soft sound to repeat several times, symbolizing the idea of eternity. The interior chamber holds the cenotaphs of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan, but their actual graves lie in a lower chamber, following Islamic burial tradition. The cenotaph of Mumtaz is in the center, and Shah Jahan's cenotaph was added later, placed slightly off-center after his death, making it the only asymmetrical element in the entire structure. The walls inside are decorated with calligraphy featuring verses from the Quran, created by the master calligrapher Amanat Khan. His signature appears at the end of the inscriptions, something extremely rare in Islamic art. The marble surfaces throughout the complex are covered with pietra dura, the technique of inlaying semi-precious stones into marble to form flowers, vines, and geometric designs. These stones were polished so smoothly that even today you cannot feel where the stone ends and the marble begins. Under sunlight, the Taj Mahal appears white but transforms throughout the day, golden at dawn, bright ivory at noon, soft pink at sunset, and silver blue under moonlight. This effect happens because Makrana marble reflects different wavelengths of light. The construction of the Taj Mahal took approximately 22 years, from 1632 to around 1653, and required a massive amount of money. Some historians estimate it cost as much as 32 million Indian rupees at the time, equivalent to billions of dollars today. Behind the beauty of the monument was intense labor. Stonecutters, carpenters, masons, mosaic artists, calligraphers, gardeners, metalworkers, and thousands of ordinary workers. The foundation was built with timber and stone, supported by wells filled with rubble to keep the structure stable near the river. A massive ramp nearly 2 miles long was created for elephants to carry marble blocks to the top of the platform. Special pulleys, ropes, and scaffolding were designed to lift enormous pieces of stone. The water for the gardens was supplied by an advanced system of Persian wheels powered by oxen, lifting Yamuna water into large reservoirs and channels. The fame of the Taj Mahal comes from more than its architecture. It is the emotional power behind it that has captivated people worldwide. Visitors from the 17th century onward wrote descriptions of its beauty that sounded like poetry. Poets compared it to a dream carved in marble, or a frozen moment of love made permanent. European travelers in the 1600s and 1700s described it as the most beautiful building on earth. Even today, millions travel from around the world to witness its symmetry, its marble glow, and the feeling of peace it creates. The Taj Mahal became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 for being the jewel of Muslim art in India and one of the universally admired masterpieces of world heritage. The monument is also surrounded by stories and legends. One legend claims Shah Jahan planned to build a second Taj in black marble across the river, but was overthrown by his son Aurangzeb before he could begin. Another legend says he had the hands of workers cut off to ensure no one could ever build anything as beautiful again, though historians widely consider this story a myth. What is true is that Shah Jahan never recovered emotionally after Mumtaz's death. In 1658, his son Aurangzeb imprisoned him in Agra Fort, where the emperor spent his final years looking out at the Taj Mahal from a small window. When he died in 1666, he was buried beside Mumtaz, fulfilling his wish to rest with the love of his life. The Taj Mahal today stands as a symbol of eternal love, artistic genius, engineering brilliance, and cultural harmony. It blends Persian, Indian, and Central Asian architectural traditions with flawless craftsmanship. Every arch, every stone, every flower carved into its marble walls reflects an extraordinary level of dedication. It continues to fascinate architects, historians, artists, and travelers because it represents what humans can create when driven by emotion rather than ambition. It is not just a building but a feeling, an expression of grief, devotion, beauty, and timeless love. Even centuries after its construction, the Taj Mahal remains one of the world's most admired wonders, a glowing reminder that love can shape history and leave behind monuments that outlive empires.